So today we are going to do a little review of combined equations, but we're also going to add in fractions. So we're going to start off easy. We're going to do equations that you guys already know. So we have 3c minus 9 equals 9. We need to get c by itself. Remember our number one goal is to get the variable by itself. Help if I could spell. And then once we get the variable, in order to get the variable by itself, we need to do addition and subtraction first, followed by division and multiplication. Okay, so the opposite of minus 9 here is plus 9. Do it on both sides. 9 plus 9 is 18. Then we get 3c is equal to 18. 3 times something equals 18. You might just know that 3 times 6 is equal to 18, so you can put 6. Or you can do the opposite, 3 times c. The opposite of times is divide. Divide by 3 on both sides. 18 divided by 3 is 6. Don't forget to put your variable equal to your answer in your final answer. This next one here, doing addition and subtraction first. The opposite of plus 75 is minus 75. Then we get 0 minus 75 is negative 75 is equal to 25 times x. So 25 times something equals negative 75. You might just be able to pull that out of your head and know that x is equal to negative 3. Or you could say the opposite of 25 times x is divide by 25 on both sides. And then you get negative 75 divided by 25 gets you negative 3. Okay. This next one, we're working in a little division here. We need to do our addition and subtraction first. The opposite of plus 6 is minus 6. Then we get x over 8 is equal to 5. So x divided by 8 is equal to 5. Something divided by 8 equals 5. You might know that that is 40. Or you could say the opposite of dividing by 8 would be multiplying by 8. Multiply by 8 on both sides, and you get x is equal to 40. This one is something a little bit new. You haven't seen this type of problem yet. We have our x on the bottom. I don't want you to worry about anything yet. Do it like you've normally been doing, and you should be able to think it through logically to where you're not flipping around your numbers. So the opposite of plus 7 is minus 7. 14 minus 7 is 7. So 63 divided by something gets you 7. If I do 63 divided by what number gets me 7? And so you might just know that x is equal to 9. Or you could say 7 times what gets you 63? And that is 9. Okay, another one, almost exactly like that one. Opposite of minus 3 is plus 3. Okay, these guys are opposite signs, meaning we subtract. 12 minus 3 is 9. 12 is our bigger number, meaning it's a negative 9. Now we have 81 divided by something gets us a negative 9. 81 divided by what gets us 9? Well, that's 9. Because we had one negative in our equation, we have one negative in our answer. So x is equal to negative 9. You could have also said negative 9 times what gets me 81. That's another way to think about it. Okay, here's where we're throwing in fractions today. So we have 1/4 x plus 2 equals 11. First off, we have to do our addition and subtraction. Opposite of plus 2 is minus 2. That's 9. Now we have 1/4 of x is equal to 9. This is like saying 1/4 times x. The opposite of times is dividing, so we're going to divide on each side by 1/4. Okay, now you see that I'm dividing a fraction. When we divide a fraction, we have to flip our second fraction. So I'm going to get 4 over 1 now, and we change our division sign to multiplication. So now I have 9 over 1 times 4 over 1. I multiply across. 9 times 4 gets me 36. 1 times 1 gets me 1. And so x is equal to 36. Okay, let's try another one with a fraction. We have 2/5 times x plus 3 equals 9. We have to do addition and subtraction first. The opposite of plus 3 is minus 3. So we get 6. So 2/5 times x equals 6. We need to do the opposite of times, which is divide by 2/5 on each side. That cancels those guys out. Dividing by 2/5 over here. I notice I have a fraction. I'm dividing by a fraction. When I'm dividing by a fraction, I have to flip my second fraction. So now I have 5 over 2, and I change my division sign to a multiplication. So I multiply across, and 6 times 5 gets me 30. 1 times 2 gets me 2. 30 divided by 2 is 15, so x is equal to 15. Or you could also say it, how many times does 2 go into 30? 2 goes into 30 15 times. Okay, this is our last example problem we're going to do today, and then I'll let you get started on your work. So I need to get z by itself. I need to do the opposite of plus 12, which is minus 12. So now I'm not -6 minus 12. They both have the same signs, meaning we're going to add. 6 plus 12 is 18. I'm keeping my negative because we're just adding and subtracting, so they don't cancel. And now I have -18 is equal to 3/4 times z. The opposite of timesing by z is dividing, or the opposite of timesing by 3/4 is dividing by 3/4. I'm going to divide by 3/4 on each side. And I'm dividing a fraction, so I have to flip my second fraction. So now I have 4 over 3. I change my division sign to multiplication, and then I'm going to multiply across. -18 times 4 is -72. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 goes into 72 24 times. I only have one negative, so my answer is -24. There's also a shortcut here if you remember how we cancel out fractions. So if you see here, we can do our crisscross canceling with our fractions. Do 18 and 3 have a common factor? They do. They can both be divided by 3. So I could cross them out, and he could be changed to a -6, and this guy could be changed to a 1. And that would get you -6 times 4 is -24. 1 times 1 is 1. And so you would still get the same answer. It's just a shortcut if you don't want to multiply 18 times 4. But our final answer is x is equal to -24. Okay, I want you to get started on your worksheet for today. There are 12 problems. Some are really easy or just reviewing what we already did last week. Some throw in fractions.